Okay, so the sun is shining. Thrift shop. Thrift shop? Is it called thrift shop? Thrift store? Whatever it is, it's on the TV. So I thought, hey, let's make a video. Right, we are going to talk about... I have 7-Up. What are we going to talk about? I never know what to talk about. I have so much to say, and then you put something in front of me where people can actually listen, and I'm like... Turtles? We are going to talk about bloody movies because I said so, and that is a legitimate reason. I watch a lot of movies, probably a lot more than most people should. Like, I'll go through some days where I just watch movies alone in my room. Yesterday I watched Peter Jackson's Brain Dead, Dead Alive, which is a zombie film. But it's one of those lame kind of like, we just learned how to animate things. Her ear just fell off in some custard kind of movies. It's brilliant. I mean, I've only watched half of it so far, but what I saw, it made me laugh so much. I'm going to have some 7-Up because I'm also going to spray it all over my leg. Okay, so it made me think about how much I actually like zombie movies. I mean, I already knew this. But I kind of went through a phase where I was obsessed with vampires. And I'm talking about real vampires. I'm talking about Nosferatu. I'm talking about Gary Oldman as Dracula, okay? I'm not talking about people who sparkle. I am talking about the real vampires. I mean, one of my favourite films is about vampires. The Lost Boys. It's an 80s movie. It's about vampires too. And it has a good soundtrack. So it's everything I need just in a little movie pie. Which is awesome, and Kiefer Sutherland's in it, and Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, and they are all beautiful people. Well, Corey Haim was, now he's dead, and they're not beautiful anymore, but they were beautiful, so it can. Yeah, this is one of the books that I have. I got this like 2 years ago maybe. I still read it because it's still interesting. It talks about the origins of zombies and how people think it's like voodoo and about Haitian tribes. And there was like this, I've forgotten what it's called, like Bokor? Is that the person? Basically, there's this drug. You can get it from the puffer fish, and it's just a really poisonous substance that means you can become paralysed within seconds. Sometimes they put it on people's eyelids, and it soaked through to their eyes and it went into the bloodstream and all that. Sometimes they were like fed it. And it would make you just stop moving within seconds. Your heart rate would go down. Your pulse would be so low that people would think you were dead. And because you're paralysed, you can't do anything. You can see, and you're looking around at these people reacting, but you can't be like, oh, hey guys, I'm not dead. So quite a lot of people actually ended up in their own coffin. There was one guy who supposedly came back. He'd been buried, and then this, I think it's called Bokor, the person who comes back because they think it can invoke a spirit and they can use that person as a slave, which is the whole zombie thing, like being someone's slave. And he had a scar in his face where somebody had nailed the coffin shut and it had gone through his face, which is lovely. Doing that. Okay, so there are some films that they tell you that you should watch, like I Walk with a Zombie, White Zombie, Brain Fever, Crossroads Zombie Monster, Voodoo Spell, Papa Legba. Okay, these aren't actually the movies. Oh no, some of them are. Okay. Evil Dead, which is really good. Dead Alive, Brain Dead is what I watched, which is Peter Jackson. This is before he met Gollum. But yeah, personally, I think my favourite zombie films would have to be Dawn of the Dead, the original, because it was the first zombie film I ever saw. And I love the whole idea that we're in danger, there's shitloads of zombies, but you know, we'll still go to the mall because we're used to that. Personally, I just find a Yo Sushi, get loads of alcohol, just live there. hide under the conveyor belt. It'd be awesome. Another favourite would be Shaun of the Dead, obviously, because it was the first kind of comedic zombie film. I don't know if it was the first ever. It was the first rom-com. And Simon Pegg, Edgar Wright and Nick Frost are amazing. My arms are cold. Goosebumps. That's something I get a lot. It sucks. Anyone can just like touch my arm and I'm like, what are you doing, guys? Okay, so zombies was the conversation. You should definitely investigate. If you're into zombies, you should definitely look at the origins of zombies. And if you start with old films like White Zombie, you can see how it was a lot about slavery and it was about Haitian tribes and stuff. But here's a point. 28 days later, are they zombies? Obviously, they eat people. Well, they just have a little nibble on their faces. But they run, and that really messes up with my head. Like, I hate zombies that run. They're good films, but post-Romero, all the zombies seem to run. And that just fills me with fear, because I know if zombies came, I'd get a stitch and they'd just kill me. And I'd be a rubbish zombie, because I wouldn't go out and eat people's limbs. I'd stay in and sleep if they need to do that. I'd find a way. I mean, there'd probably still be a human side to me where I just kind of cover myself in ice cream and sleep. Not at the same time, but yeah, it's really cold, so I'm going to stop talking.